exciting episode of POLCOM Extra. It's a time for us to have an insightful conversation, one of the flag bearers for the parties. But I think I should say it's rather the people's time because of the person we have on the show today. We've already brought you two exciting episodes with other flag bearers. Today on the show, we have someone who seeks to lead a very peaceful revolution in this country. When we come back from the commercial break, we engage him on a personal level and get to know about his party. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching POLCOMXTRA here on GIG headquarters and Info Online. So let's take his profile so you get to better understand who he is and what he stands for.
Mitchell Asare Amoamah, People's Revolutionary Party. Born and raised in an educational family, Mitchell grew up learning the ideals of respect, discipline, and dedication. These values, he believes, has made him passionate about things he sets his mind to. Mitchell has worked as a writer, an English teacher, and a content creator for educational software companies. He likes to read, especially about perspectives he disagrees with. He believes his strengths are drawn from his personal principles. In the university community, Mitchell has enjoyed being in the backseat until he got propelled into the adventurous race of POLCOM. He wants to be thought of as an outsider. Mitchell Asare Amoamah, People's Revolutionary Party.
Welcome back from the break. So today on the show we have Mitchell Asare Amoamah. Did I get the name right? Amoamah. What's your ethnic ancestry? What's your tribe?
And so I am half one, half Kru. My father is Kru. I was born and raised in Kru, Lake region. My mother is one. She comes from the Enumboso area. Yes. And so I'm sort of an Akan, Akan through and through.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm just asking because the surname seems a bit strange to me. I've heard it. So I just wanted to know.
The chief of defense staff is also Seth Amoamah.
Okay.
Coincidentally, but no relation.
No relation. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I just read your profile and I noticed something very striking. You worked as a content creator for educational software company. Indulge me. What exactly did you do during that time? Or you are still a content creator for?
I'm still.
All right. So indulge me, educate me. What is it about?
Okay, so this is basically you creating questions and then enlightening students basics at a basic level of how to solve questions and how to understand things as it relates to English language. And so we are talking about grammar, you're talking about structure, function, stuff like that. And when it comes to literature, a lot of students find it very difficult to grasp the ideas of literature, literary devices, and the themes of stories. And so I sort of help these kind of companies get content that educates the students on these things. And so that's basically what I do.
Okay. Also, the other interesting thing I noticed about your profile is that you consider yourself an outsider. Could you explain what that means?
Yes, and so from the standpoint of student politics, I have not held any position within the SRC or in fact have any interest in holding any position in the SRC. And a lot of people don't know me probably because of that. I don't like to be the loudest in the room or the most vocal in the room. I think my superpower is sitting back, observing, and then trying to weigh in at the most appropriate time.
Okay, so that's what you mean by it. All right, now let's delve into why you are here. You're the flag bearer for the People's Revolutionary Party, PRP. Revolution Party, PRP. Can you just tell us what the party is about and what your founding principles are?
So People's Revolution Party, the name says it all. We're a party that was born in socialism. We believe that in order for our country to thrive, to succeed, we need the government to be playing a major role and also to be creating an enabling environment for businesses that want to succeed. We have looked at property owning democracy, as opponents, people, the MPP would say, and we believe that it doesn't work. You know, the government is the only guarantor for the rights, economic rights, you know, social rights, and all of that, you know, political rights of all the citizens. When you leave it to individuals, you have a disaster. And so we don't want anything like that. And so we believe very much in the government's ability to do good. Then the people's revolution, the revolution there is clear. We are saying that people are tired of business as usual, and we want to see real change. If you do not go all the way, you don't go at all. People are protesting on streets. They want real change. They don't want knee-jerk decisions. You know, you need to have a plan. You need to have an idea of how you want to transform this country, and it has to be clear-cut. And the people need to understand what you're doing, and that's not what we're having now. We need to have leaders that have empathy and leaders that care about doing a good job, and we don't have that now. And so when the People's Revolution Party was born, we sought to achieve these things by coming up with a plan, a kind of bold plan, which is very strategic and then very deep, so that we can rescue this country and give it back to the people.
Okay, so you mentioned that for the other political parties, such as the NPP, that believe in capitalism or property-owning democracy, you do not side with them. But what about another party, like the National Democratic Congress, which claims to be steeped in socialism? How different is your party from them ideologically?
We recognize the urgency of the moment. I don't believe that there is any content in the NDC's manifesto that recognizes the kind of situation that we find ourselves in. You know, if you want to do anything about our country, you want to spend, you have to look at the fiscal space. We don't have fiscal space. So we need leaders that look at us and say, hey, we've got to do something about the debt. You have debt being a percentage of 92% of our GDP. We're in a bad way. Fitch has downgraded us, and you know, when you look at all our economic indicators, we're in trouble. And so we need leaders that will level with the Ghanaian people and say that, look, in order for us to have fiscal space to do the things that you want us to do, we have to deal with the debt problem. And that's what we have. If we have a plan, we have a development plan, as the PRP is proposing. If we have a development plan, you don't have a situation where we make knee-jerk decisions. The trade minister was in parliament, and he wanted to pass a law that's going to restrict certain importations. And you know, this is great, but it's a knee-jerk decision. Where did this come from? Why is this not part of a coherent plan? And so you have somebody gets up and say, I feel like this has to be done. I feel like this has to be done. You have to be intentional about what you want to do, and then you achieve it. That's what we do.
Right, that's fine. So then, I'm sure you've launched your party.
We have.
Yes. So since you've launched your party, can you outline some of the activities you've undertaken since the launch of your party?
All right. When we launched our party, we've gone through executive elections. Obviously, we've elected the flag bearer, myself, in consultation with executives of the party, and then the Council of Elders chose a running mate. She's Nafisa Ibrahim. I'm sure she's very popular. Everybody knows about her. And we have had extensive stakeholder engagement. You know, if you want to do things for the people, you first of all need to ask them, what is the border? What are things that you care deeply about? What's giving you sleepless nights? You know, you've got to take their input on these things. And so we've met the Christian Council, we've met His Eminence, the Chief Imam, and we've also met the business community. We were at Gamro last Saturday, yes. And then they engaged us on policies that will inure to the benefit of their industries. And so I believe that it has been very intuitive, very engaging. And you know, one thing that we've got to know in all of these engagements is that the reason why this country is at where it is not because of a deficit of ideas, but it's the deficit of will to fight and secure the future of our country.
Fantastic. Deficit of the will to fight and secure for our country. That's so. Going into the competition, I want to understand how you felt. Thinking of yourself as an outsider, I want to understand how you felt. Let's bring it back to you. How you felt when you were elected as flag bearer.
How are we going to start this race? I mean, where do we even start from? In politics, one of the things that are very underestimated is your ability to come from behind to win. And when you look at stories of great leaders, you know, they were not known by anybody. You're talking about people that came from nowhere. It gives them the sense of, if you're able to craft a message and then have a great campaign strategy, people look at it and say, who's this guy? What are you talking about? At the end of the day, it's not about the individual, it's about the plan, it's about ideas. And that's why revolutions grow and then they outlive people, they live for generations, because it's not about the individual, it's about the ideas. And so people would say, oh, everybody's behind this person, why? Is it a cult or whatever? It's about the idea that people want to have fidelity to.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so then, have you launched your manifesto?
We did so this afternoon.
Okay, then then we can delve into it.
Sure.
What are 3 strategic initiatives in that manifesto that you think is going to give people the liberation that you want to give them?
Well, first of all, we are looking at a plan, as I said. It's a very important thing. We want to develop a 10-year development plan. Part of the reasons why we've accrued debts over time is because of the knee-jerk decisions that we made. This government promises this, and so he wants to do something within 2-3 years to solve age-old problems. We recognize that that does not solve problems. In order for you to solve problems, you must have a plan. And we don't have a plan right now. And so the economy of our country tilts to the whims and caprices of external shocks. When we talk about the situation of our economy, they say, well, it's Russia, Ukraine, well, they're talking down to us. They think we don't understand. So first of all, we need to get a plan, and the PRP will work on that. We have a 10-year development plan that we want to implement. Number 2, we need to take hold of the AI age. This is an AI age. And when the African countries speak, it seems that we are left out of it. We've got to get a grip of it. And so we're going to establish an AI center that is going to look into this. We're going to get the experts. We have Ghanaian experts who are very interested in this AI technology. We're going to build an AI center, and it's going to be a hub for developing.
But what do you say to people who believe that the fundamental issues that plague our nation do not even give us a room to think about AI? We're already struggling with data connectivity, the cost of data bundles. Don't you think some of these policies are a bit too far-reaching without addressing the foundational problems of our nation?
You've got to be bold with the plans that you have. I think that part of the reason some countries are successful and they are great is because of the kind of leadership that they have. If you want to solve tomorrow's problems alone, what about next month? What about next year's? And so we've got to have a plan. We've got to let the people have faith in our country. Look, people are leaving our country by the hour. In fact, by the day, you get to Terminal 3 and it's a disaster. Everybody's leaving the country. We've got to get a grip of this thing. You've got to have people who have that level of patriotism. And the way they do that is when you have a plan. It's not just for roads and water and education. We've got to go big. And we of the PRP believe that if you don't go all the way, it is not enough. It's insufficient.
Sure. That's fine. We are bringing the conversation to an end. But before that, let me gather your thoughts on this. What do you think, from a realistic point of view, are the chances of the PRP on Thursday?
We have an excellent chance of winning the entire competition.
What do you say to people who said you've not done enough, considering some of the other parties are far advanced when it comes to their social media campaigns and all that? That's some of the criticisms your party has received. What do you say to those people?
I would argue that they've not seen our social media content. I mean, we've met people that matter in our country. We've met a Christian because I don't know anybody. Chief Imam, he gave us invaluable advice on how to change the fortunes of our country and how to ensure that there is peace. We met Gambo, major industry player like Gambo. I don't know anybody that has done anything close to Gambo. We've done an excellent job with Gambo. We've engaged the people. We were at a soup, I think 2 weeks ago, and we engaged the people. We are all over the place. The people that say that either they've not seen our page or they don't have any interest in seeing our page. And then that is the thing, because we cut through the noise. We are clear-eyed about what we want. At the end of the day, we are confident that we'll be successful.
All right. So then let's end by playing the game that we usually play here. So what happens is that your other 2 competitors have come here and they've given their ranking of what they think the final assessment of theirs will be. Yes. The FAP put you at, if my memory serves me right, 2nd. I think the same for the DSC. The flagbearer also put you at 2nd in the final analysis. I know you put your party first, so I want to listen to the remainder of the rankings. Where do you think the other parties will fall?
Wow.
The game is composed, you see.
Yeah, because I wish that I wouldn't play this game.
No, it's composed. It's composed.
Right. So PRP comes tops.
Alright.
The other parties. I think I go with FAP.
Second.
Yes.
Okay.
And DSC, I think,
Third.
and the PUC,
Fourth.
and probably UAP. I think it's going to be very close between the four of them. Yeah, I tell you, it's going to be very close
So
between
actually
the
it's down
second and then the fifth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But the most telling issue is that PRP is going to come tops.
We'll win.
Alright. Before you go, I told you that was it, but let me just indulge you a bit more. What do you think Nafisa brings into the competition as you're running it?
Nafisa brings that idea of using messages, of how to communicate. You know, she's been doing media and literacy club for a while now. And so she's somebody that understands the way that information gets to people. So when she's on our team, first of all, it stipulates that we are a progressive ticket, which is very important for people these days. Nafisa brings expertise on how issues matter to people because she's done journalism for a long time. She knows development, how to cover development issues, and so she cares very deeply about these issues. She makes these tickets very strong. And so with issues that I might overlook, I believe that Nafisa will be there. She'll be very clear in saying that we've got to do something about it. You know, you need a vice president that that's very courageous, has the ability to look in the eye and say that this is how I believe that things should be done. I believe that she has the capacity to stand up and say that this is what she wants.
All right, thank you. It was a very insightful conversation.
Thank you.
About your
I
party. So
appreciate
you just listened to the flag bearer for People's Revolution Party. They intend to lead a peaceful revolution to rescue our nation from the socio-economic doldrums that we've been placed in. Do you think they truly have what it takes to lead the revolution? Or it's just a matter of waiting till Thursday to see who comes tops? Now, thank you very much for joining. My producer has always been and would always be Nana Prepra. And on directorial duties, it was Kobe Augustine Toussaint. So we bring you another flag bearer. Stay tuned and engage us on all our social media handles. And always remember that politics should also always be healthy. The insults, the backlash, the banters, we don't need it. We need it as to have issue-based arguments and intellectual-based arguments. That's my advice to you all. Catch you same time in our next episode. Bye-bye.